my tardiness, everyone. No time for lab work today. I'm sorry. After a long night at the ER, one of my patients survived a near-death experience. Jamie. You asked me the other day if I believed in God. Well, I didn't answer you truthfully. I lied when I said that I hadn't given it much thought. Honestly, I struggle with this question, if only to avoid the word God, with all its conventional connotations. Admittedly, I'm hostile towards man-made religions for the divisiveness they cause. I, as a scientist, am a pragmatist and reject all phenomena that cannot be evidenced scientifically. Science is committed to objectivism, realism, naturalism, with positivism and determinism, but most of all with rationalism, and above all with skepticism. We investigate, probe, measure the hard physical reality of the universe's natural occurrences around us and within us. Anything to do with the transcendental, the mystical, the metaphysical, the paranormal, the supernatural. Dreams, memories, consciousness, subconsciousness, supraconsciousness are all simply consequences of the causal power of our brain, and mostly of concern to theologians and philosophers. But after witnessing such an extraordinary NDE, though the third in my profession, it was the first I was receptive to. My patient's heart stopped beating. She had a cardiac arrest. The electroencephalogram stopped measuring significant brain cortical electrical activity. Her blood stopped flowing. She was no longer breathing. My patient was dead while we kept massaging her, giving her cardiopulmonary resuscitation, intracardiac function, with a shot of adrenaline below the heart to stimulate contraction. And I thought to myself, not on my watch. 4 minutes and 17 seconds later, her eyes opened. And looking straight at me, she said, "Why did you bring me back?" "Because your husband and child need you, and they're waiting outside this door for you." "I know that, doctor. But I was already home." No words can express what I saw and felt, except that I now know love. Its sweetness enveloped me in flames of indescribable colors, all radiating brightly out from complete blackness and back into white light. And the most melodious sounds spoke resonating words, while familiar beings appeared, welcoming my return. And some were distant ancestors whom I'd never met, but somehow I recognized them by their essence, their voices, their scent. And my entire past rushed before me, and like willingly I reviewed each wrong with profound regret. All was happening at once. Because I saw you, Dr. Sal, plunging a needle into me, and heard you thinking, "Not on my watch." And then my son, he was crying on his daddy's lap, and I went to hug him and noticed my hands traverse his little body, and in that moment, his future to me was revealed. All flawlessly imperfect. And yet I was at peace. Can it be that when the body expires, its energetic consciousness, that eternal self-awareness, while detaching from the physical, remains plugged into an information source? The primal intelligent consciousness? This is what religions postulate. But my patient's account was no confabulation. My patient claimed many unverifiable things, but the few verifiable ones, like seeing me injecting her, hearing my thoughts, seeing her son in the other room, feeling her hands travel through his flesh, being in many places and time-spaces at once, are all realities of quantum mechanics. And nothing to do with religion, for God's sake. After reviewing the fundamental principles in class, Jane, very innocently, addressed the elephant in the room by asking, "Does God exist?" Her curiosity followed a pure inner instinct to look at the physical reality through a quantum context where the paranormal becomes quite normal. And while clinging to my scientific fundamentalism, ignored ideas of tried, tested, and confirmed theories by physicists of Nobel Prize-winning stature. My loss. Who remembers de Broglie's first theory? Anyone? No cheating. Put that phone away.
Particles.
Particles are the smallest unit of matter at the atomic level. De Broglie discovered that matter is particle in the microform by way of
Electrons.
electrons. Electrons dance and play, remaining as waves or colliding and collapsing into particles or manifesting as both. Through? Anyone? Through?
Energy.
Energy, energetic population, propagation. Louis de Broglie discovered and confirmed through exhaustive demonstrations that everything in its essence, at its very core, is energy. Everything. Conventional science deems objects and living beings as matter. But when scanning through the eye of quantum, underneath the surface, down to the most basic elemental structure, beneath the cellular, we discover that we are made of energy. So, if we are made of energy, continuously transforming through vibratory states, oscillating along magnetic fields of information frequencies, again and again in an endless transmutation towards an idealized nature, shouldn't then that intelligent source binding our existence be a creative currency of love? consider that quantum has facilitated our most advanced technological discoveries, from transistors to toasters, fluorescent lights, lasers, semiconductors, computers, simulation, and now artificial intelligence. Eagerly we obey rules quantum dictates for progressing in the material world, and yet we ignore their transcendental implications. We throw caution to the wind, creating tools and machines that are outsmarting us at an exponential speed, risking humanity's very existence, and without even questioning. Remember Einstein? He said the most important thing is never to stop questioning. And he placed the highest value on the imagination and promoted silence, that place quieter than quietness itself for discovering truth. Oh, we only have a minute left. Okay. For next week, I want us to explore Niels Bohr's double slit experiment and consider how it might prove that we humans are co-creators, capable of affecting and altering reality through conscious observation. Come on in, we're almost done, come on in. So let's ask ourselves, is quantum instructing us to give away our power to the machine? Or is it alerting us to be agents of our own eternal energetic intelligence? How exciting! I did not go off topic. We are learning to steer along these tremulous, shifting times together. Thank you for staying and waiting for me. And those who didn't, their loss. See you next week.